Good evening. Welcome to Hotspot News, where reality is unveiled. Tonight's top story, North Korea and their rising intimidation factor. What caused this country to become such a problem in the world? North Korea has for many years been known for its communist government, the use of intimidation by its military, and lack of basic human rights for its citizens. These factors have made Korea an area of concern for the rest of the world. The country's communist government clashes greatly with the democratic government of South Korea, its bordering nation. This clash has created tension that has been building between the two nations since they were first split by the United States and Russia in 1945. Kim Jong-il's rise to power in this communist system resulted in his complete control of the country politically, socially, and culturally. During his tenure, Kim Jong-il has developed North Korea's military into one of the most intimidating in the world, restricting the rights of his nation's people to prevent revolt, and become one of the most power-hungry leaders in history. Recently, Jong-il announced his successor, as Jong-il will soon be leaving his political duties to his son, Kim Jong-un. Over time, North Korea has been greatly influenced by the cultures, warfare, and society of its surrounding countries, including Japan, China, and South Korea. This molding process has allowed North Korea to become the power-hungry and corrupt society that it is today. Think of a group of friends being chosen by different teams for a game of pickup basketball.
Jumbo jet. It wasn't easy, but nothing is. No. When I feel heavy metal, and I feel that I need when I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you.
The Korean War, which began in 1950, was of historical importance as it led to the development of opposing societies in North and South Korea. The U.S. and the USSR inhabited separate territories on opposite sides of the 38th parallel, which was a border between the two Koreas. Although both nations were neutral to one another, their opposing governments, communism in Russia and democracy in the United States, made it impossible to work together to reform Korea's government. The communist government in North Korea has developed immense control and has created a sense of fear among citizens and the rest of the world through military intimidation and disregard for basic human rights. This power through the factor of intimidation is very similar to the tactics used by seniors towards freshmen.
Tonight we're going hard, 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 just like the world is ours. We're tearing it apart, you know we're superstars.
Finally this evening, Richard Nixon's historical decision to withdraw U.S. troops from North Korea opened a door for Russian influence of communism and eventually led to the rise of a militarist form of communism in the developing country. Nixon's Guam Doctrine of 1969 further removed the U.S. from association with North Korea, stating that U.S. forces were to be ruled out of direct involvement with other countries' wars.
Oh shit. Cool. That's pretty done. I'm gone. Everybody watching.
North Korea's government has recently issued testing of nuclear weapons, creating fear throughout the world. Images of mass destruction and doomsday also come to mind. Geographical influences from bordering nations, power-hungry government,
in a rebuilding country, and historical factors including the Korean War and the U.S. withdrawal from Korea all contributed to these conceptions about North Korea. It is quite uncertain which direction the country will take when Kim Jong-il's successor Kim Jong-un rises to power. Foreign nations continue to exert influence upon the country in an attempt to create a more peaceful nation when the successor is named to power. Kim Jong-un may follow in the footsteps of his father, or he might lead the country into a more democratic style of government. The direction of the country relies slightly upon foreign influence, but mostly rests on the ideals and beliefs of Kim Jong-un. Reunification with South Korea has also been a discussed possibility by world powers. To prevent conflict or nuclear war, world powers, including the United States, should deploy the United Nations troops into the nation and make sure governmental reform actually occurs. The U.S. must complete what it started during the Korean War and come to the aid of neighboring nations. If a plan doesn't develop soon, there is a strong chance that the military threats and human rights violations could worsen. While the world plays a game of wait and see, the question remains, where does this go from here, for many experts to governmental leaders? Failure to act could ultimately lead to the demise of foreign relations and spark major conflict throughout the world, possibly a nuclear war.
Does switching to Geico save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is North Korea a nuclear threat?
Bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the Do you know what's worth fighting for when it's not worth dying for? Does it take your breath away and you feel yourself suffocating? Does the pain weigh out the pride? Did someone